So
Okay, that may be fixed.
okay.
So yeah, I will just edit that back in after the show. But yeah, big weekend. Geez, I got all sorts of technical things going on here now. What you did to me every week, man. Technology wins again.
Your favorite person chimed in. Favorite person in the world, Nancy Gerber, chimed in and said, "We can't hear."
Well, we can hear now.
Your voice.
Yeah, we can hear now because it was all over the TV just now.
All right.
So yes, big week ahead of us, Johnny, at the Valspar as the Florida Swing continues at the home of the Snake Pit. Have you played this course before?
I have. I played it several times. I actually played the Florida Open there probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever. But it is, they kind of ease their way into, I think this is by far, take the conditions out, like the wind and the firmness. Golf course itself, it's probably the hardest golf course in this whole Florida Swing, even counting last week at TPC Sawgrass. But last week, it's just different. It's an old school type. It's really cool, man. I like it a lot. It's just hard. It's long. It's very tree lined. It's got some little undulations, which is very rare for Florida. But you're kind of in that north side of Florida to where that you can get some of that stuff. And the whole topography of the place is really cool. There's 2 golf courses there, but they only play the Copperhead course.
Right.
But it's just hard. They've grown the rough up, and they didn't really overseed, so they're going to get a little different test of that non-overseed ryegrass that they played, or rye bluegrass they played last week at TPC Sawgrass, and they're going to get that probably 3 to 4 or 5 inches of Bermuda rough. It looks like that they're going to have this week at Valspar. So they kind of ease their way into the Florida Swing, and I think this week, and it's good. I think they're going to have some. They're going to have a little bit of AWC, if you know what that is. You know what AWC is?
I know it in other avenues.
Let's keep it clean.
Well, okay, then yeah, I don't know.
Adverse weather.
Weather. I knew the W was weather.
Yeah. So there's some cooler weather for this time of year in Tampa. I think Saturday or Sunday, the high is only going to be like 60. And I know people are going to go like, oh, 60, all 60, but 60 in Florida feels a hell of a lot different than 60 anywhere else. So, it's going to be cool. Listen, it is one of my favorite events on that Florida Swing, because I just think the golf course is hard. I think when I played in the Florida Open, I try to forget it because I missed the cut, but I think maybe like 1 or 2 under won the golf tournament for 4 days.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, right. I mean, so it was very difficult. So looking forward to a great week. We got a lot of great friends, a lot of great partners out there this week that is supporting and representing FanStream Sports. So looking forward to hear a little bit of that feedback. And I know JP's out there. I know Terry's out there. So our partners out there in Florida in the Tampa area, we're going to be well represented, even though that we're not there this week.
I tried to talk you into going, and you wouldn't let me.
I know, but you know how I am with Tampa. If I get to Tampa, it's hard for me to get out.
You're not coming home.
I'm not. It's tough, man.
Maybe we should just stay.
It's tough. Well,
I'll stay.
I know you will, but it's in the cards. It's in the works. But we got a little bit more fish to fry here in Dallas.
So, would you consider this one of the more treacherous golf courses on the schedule? Is treacherous a word you would use for this course?
I wouldn't call it treacherous unless I don't like snakes. So if you,
well, who does?
You told me I told you a long time ago, my 2 biggest fears in the world is snakes, and I can't say the other one on air. So we're going to keep it at snakes, but
gotcha.
It's tough. It's not too much different. I mean, these ending holes through this whole stretch of the Florida Swing. I mean, when you start, when you start out in West Palm Beach and you got the Bear Trap, and then you go to, Orlando, that stretch of holes that finishing up at Bay Hill. And then you get last week, those 3 hole stretches that you have, that par 5, par 3, par 4 with water. And then you have the same thing, this little stretch at the Snake Pit. It's not the final holes. That's the thing,
right,
with a little bit different than anywhere else. But it's hard. Listen, there's a lot of water in Florida. Florida's an island. As Colby said, it's America's wang. And there's a reason why that is just, there's just a lot of trouble. There's a lot of trouble there, but hey, looking forward to it. These guys, here's a little bit of the shitty part. these guys, the tour guys, love going to this golf course. They love the tournament. It's not an elevated field event. It fits in the schedule. That's a really kind of a shitty thing for some of the players, a shitty thing for the sponsors. But these guys love coming here. And you look at a guy like Jordan Spieth. I know he's won here, but there's a reason why he's playing. He loves the place, right? And that's a testament to.
Well, he hadn't been there in a while.
No, and he's playing.
We'll get into there. Yeah, he's playing this year.
And that's a testament to how they're taken care of, how they're treated, how the golf courses is, and for a fan side of it, it is really good. I mean, it is a party. I think Darius Rucker's playing on Saturday, so they're hanging out. They're running out the red carpet. I think Rondé Barber is now the chairman of the tournament of the Valspar, which is great. So you
local hero.
Yeah. So you have an extra athletic side or a professional sports side that kind of gets it and can bring the crowd, and you can bring those people. I think there's 7 or 8 Hooters tents out there. I've never been there to Hooters.
I'm glad you waited until today to tell me that, since we're not going to be there. I'm very disappointed.
I know it's a family restaurant, Hooters, but I don't really know, what type of deal that place.
You've never been to one, I'm sure.
Yeah. So it's one of those destination places.
Yes.
That's just what I heard. But
Johnny, that's what we consider a breastaurant, is what they call those.
What is that?
It's where the women have up tops.
What do you mean up tops?
They have up tops. I'll explain that to you after the show if you don't know what those are.
I'm very shy, and I'm a bit of a hermit, so I don't know what those things are.
Well, we call that a prude, but that's fine.
Next show, please.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Right.
So yes, as you mentioned, it's kind of a vast field. Sam Burns is going to be joined by by the way, the 2-time defending champion Sam Burns will be joined by his President's Cup teammates from this past fall, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. And there's been some quality moments for both Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth this year, but we had Spieth with his final round charge at the Arnold Palmer. Of course, his steady play at the Phoenix Open this year. Thomas comes in with 5 top 25 finishes over the last 6 months, but he's really been without he hasn't really been in contention late in any of these tournaments. And I'm certainly looking for him to maybe turn things around. I don't know if it'll be this weekend, but I think he's not playing his best golf. I don't think Spieth is playing his best golf. And I don't know if this will be the the time that they're going to turn it around. But you've also got Matthew Fitzpatrick, Justin Rose, Keegan Bradley, Tommy Fleetwood, some of the more notables that are going to be taking part as they get ready for the Masters as it's quickly approaching. The course is set up, par 70, the very unstable par 71.
You hate that.
I hate that, dude. I hate,
it's par, for you.
I'm even more okay with a 70, I think, than I am a 71.
I mean, you like par, right? You say you used to shoot par. I mean, par is not 100.
Par is a state of mind.
That's right.
Oh, I need a shirt that says that.
That's a pretty good one.
We should get a Turf Life sticker that says that par is a state of mind.
Talk birdie to me.
Talk birdie to me.
That's what Mills had a shirt on. Talk birdie to me.
What's up, Mills?
Go to hell, Mills.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's set up at 7,340 yards as the par 71, $8.1 million purse, not the $25 million that we saw at the Players. But we won't see that again, even at any of the majors. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into some of the favorites and stuff coming in, but tell me a little bit more, Johnny, about, since you played it, about the course. Like, what kind of player is going to do well at a course like Innisbrook?
It's not a place that you're going to go to and try to find your game, right? It's a place that if you don't have it, it's extremely demanding off the tee. Like if you're driving it bad, and it's a long golf course, it's going to play soft, especially if it's a little bit cooler. There's a couple pretty cool holes that kind of go uphill, and it kind of meanders around, dog leg left, dog leg rights. But you can't go in there searching for your game. You can't. I mean, you got to have something stable or just be super arrogant and knowing, this is where you've kind of made a little bit of hay. That's why I think, Sam Burns is not coming into good form, but also if you don't have great form and you're coming into a place that you feel comfortable, that helps. But they're going to get exposed for 72 holes, right? It might look good for 18 holes or whatever, but you're going to get exposed if you're not bringing your good game coming into a place that it's very demanding off the tee. Here's the coolest thing. this has probably never happened. So Sam Burns is two-time defending champ. I think he's going to make the cut. I think he's dealing with some injuries. His caddy played the tour for 3 years and finished in the top 10 at Valspar. So I will beg to get a question from or a comment from anyone that is there ever a player caddy that's ever finished in the top 10 in a PGA Tour event? Like that in separate years, obviously. I don't think so. I think that's pretty cool. When I dive into something like that, Travis Perkins that we talked about a lot on the show, who's a friend of mine, I'm going to see him next week down in Austin for the match play, but he played the tour for 3 years. He's Sam Burns' caddy, and that's a really cool stat. He lives in that area, so he knows the golf course. So that's a really cool stat, I think, is like how many times on the PGA Tour that a player and a caddy has finished in the top 10 in a tournament.
That's kind of a neat deal. Yeah. We'll have to maybe look that up and talk about it.
There might be one. And you probably don't know him. Well, you're old, so you probably
pretty old.
Lance Tinbrook. I don't know if you remember that.
I've heard the name, yeah.
So he used to caddy for Jesper Parnevik.
Jesper.
And that could have been maybe that's the only one I could really think of that maybe kind of could be in that spot. But Travis was a hell of a player, and he's went on to bigger and better things, caddying for Sam Burns. But I thought that was just kind of a cool thing that when I started doing my research for the show that I kind of fell into. But yeah, you're not going to come to this place, man, hitting it sideways. You're not. And if you are, you're going to get exposed. And I think it's going to lend to some guys that are pretty good ball strikers that's coming into some pretty good form. So that's what I think about the Valspar this week.
So I'll ask the same question that I ask about every course that we cover for every tournament here on From the Rough on FanStream Sports.
You can't break 100 there. No.
Number one,
you can't break.
What would I shoot there over the course of 36 holes, and could I make the cut?
I mean, you really going to ask that second question?
Yeah.
Okay. So 210 total for 36.
Sir, holes. I have never shot over 100 in my life.
No, listen to me.
That is a legit stat. 210
for 36 holes will not make the cut.
You don't think?
I'm just telling you right now.
I mean, the winning score is only going to be like 250, right?
No. I think 10 under par is going to win the golf.
Is that? Oh, really?
Yeah. No, they're not going low here. Listen, they're
wait.
No, man, they're not gonna rip this place up. I just don't think that they are, unless it just gets to the point where it's too soft and they just start throwing darts and stuff. But I don't think that's really going to happen until maybe like Saturday or Sunday. But they don't want 20 under par to win this golf tournament. They just don't. They want to make this. They want to make this last Florida swing, the last stop on the Florida swing. They want to make it the toughest.
Yeah.
So I just really think that's what's going to happen. I think double digit has a chance. Obviously, it's weather pending. But to go back to your question, 210, 212 doesn't make the cut.
First of all, I would not shoot 210 or 212 again.
You won't. You wouldn't break 100.
I've never not broken 100. I've never shot over 100. Even the first time I played 18 holes, I shot a 99.
Okay, but that's not counting. That's a 5,500 yard par 3 golf course that you play. It's not a PGA Tour regulation with real rough and 13s on the stent meter.
Wait, do they have sand? Oh yeah, I'm screwed then. Yeah, I can't hit out of the sand. How many mulligans are you allowed to take?
And like you have to play by the real rules of golf. Like you have to, if you hit it.
Those are more suggestions.
No,
aren't they?
It's frowned upon.
Like, aren't those just suggestions more?
It's frowned upon. No, it's if you play, there was something happened probably. There was this whole big debate about the U.S. Open when the U.S. Open comes around, and they say your best player at your club that's a scratch player. What would they shoot on a tournament regulation U.S. Open? And they've tested this. They test it every year, and they did this like competition. What was really cool. And you're talking about good players, scratch players, best player at your club.
Right.
That would go play a U.S. Open on U.S. Open conditions. There was not one person, I think they've done it hundreds of times, that broke 90. That broke 90 on a U.S. Open. That's a scratch player.
Yeah, now U.S. Opens is obviously more difficult.
Yeah, but still, but a scratch player. You're a 27 handicap, Tim.
Not a 27 handicap.
27 handicap.
My handicap right now is probably not official.
There's a thing.
I haven't played in 2 years.
There's a thing in baseball. It's called the run rule.
They don't have that in golf.
Yes, there is.
It's called the cut. What the run? That's the equivalent of the run rule in golf is the cut.
No, for you, it's called. If any double par max is good for you because I don't want you to hold the whole damn golf course up.
So is there a time limit?
Yes. 4 hours and 24 minutes. That's the time limit.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be done I could get through 18 probably in about an hour 45.
What's next on this sheet here?
I could do it. I bet I could shoot par too.
No, par what?
Bet I could shoot par on some hole. Name any hole and I'll shoot par on.
You would never make a par at Valspar.
I could do it.
No, you can't.
On any, give me a par 3.
And you're my friend.
If I par 3 at least.
No, because
or a short par 4.
What do you consider short?
I got that G5 driver, man. I'm nailing it right now.
That's exactly what you need.
20 years old.
That's what that's what you need on a par 3, right?
Yeah, well, I'd hit the driver on a 178-yard par 3. I'd probably, not even hit the green still.
When's the last time you hit golf balls?
The last time I played golf, hit golf balls. Last time I hit golf balls was out at the Highlands. I mean, wasn't that long ago.
Okay.
The last time I actually played golf was with you out at up in Gunter.
We played golf
with Lance and Jeb.
Oh, that's why I remember
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Now I know I remember how bad you are.
When y'all made fun of my golf clubs.
Yeah, it's awful. You had hickory shafts, I think, at that point.
Hey, whatever works, man.
It didn't work.
Hand-me-downs. I hit some nice shots.
No, you did. Where?
I did.
What do you mean nice shots?
You were too busy over there looking for your golf ball in the woods. You never saw my shots.
That's incorrect.
Was not riding in a cart with you, sir.
That's the first time we ever met. I think that's when you
wasn't the first time we met.
Oh, the first time we met, you didn't like me, you said.
First time I met you was at Stacy's birthday party.
Stacy?
You sat literally right across the table from me, and I'm like,
Stacy's
I just want to punch this dude in the face.
That's kind of rude.
You were wearing your sunglasses inside at the restaurant.
And?
I wanted to punch you in the face so bad.
It's not like Step Brothers. I just want to punch you.
I just want to punch. You have a face. I just want to punch it.
I just don't know what.
And then later we became friends.
We did?
And co-hosts. And then I'm like, I don't want to punch you in the face quite so much anymore.
Was there just something that came out there that you said, did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends? Yep. Yeah, we're doing a golf podcast together. That's what it was.
Yeah, right.
Going through some of the field here, I wanted to talk a little bit about Justin Thomas, who appears to be the favorite at 11-1. It's been said that he may have too many tools at his disposal because at some point during his play, sometimes he'll hit a shot that he knows he can hit instead of the shot maybe that he should be hitting. Like overthinking things sometimes because he has so many shots at his disposal.
Sure.
And he's he's really been struggling. He's got 4 top 20 finishes in 5 trips at Copperhead, including the T3 last year. But what's going on with JT in his game? Is he just overthinking things right now?
I think he's, just making some calls and hearing through the grapevine. I don't think he's been real healthy, right? I think that he's got a few things in the injury thing that it's kind of hindering a little bit. Those are good questions, man. And you're looking at, I don't want to get too far forward till next week, but you're looking at a few guys, some of these higher end players like the JTs that are in the field, the top 64 that are in the field for next week. I mean, this is really going to come to a little bit more play maybe this weekend when we start doing our matchups. Mm-hmm. Is that, okay, if they can't win the golf tournament and you're looking at a place this week and next week that are completely opposites, so they're going to probably start, if they can't win the golf tournament, they're going to start really playing some shots that might come into play for next week. And that could really hinder some of these guys because they're nowhere close to be some of the same shots that they're going to hit next week.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they might be thinking ahead a little bit more for next week if they're not really in contention. So we'll look at that when we start doing our matchups this weekend. And we're going to start doing that show. You want to announce a little show on Saturday? We're starting doing, I know we did the Monday show, but
yeah, we can get into that now. So, of course, we announced last week a little schedule change for From the Rough here on FanStream Sports. We're our Monday show, 5 o'clock Central Time across all of our platforms. And coming soon, by the way, go ahead and download it now on iOS and Android, the FanStream Sports app, where you can hear our shows live as well as on-demand podcasts from all of our shows at any time. If we're doing a live show, it'll be on the app live. People ask me all the time, hey, how do I hear you guys live? That's going to be the easiest place. Download the app, know the schedule, go check it. And if we're live, will be on the app.
They can send us a check too if they want.
They're more than well, yeah. If you want to
can-
sponsor us, you can certainly do that.
They can come in the studio and get the full zoo tour is what we call it.
Yeah, for sure.
Zoo tour.
So our Monday show will be a recap of the previous weekend. Like this week, we recapped and reviewed our betting picks for the players.
Yeah.
Here on Wednesday, we are previewing the upcoming tournament. Of course, the Valspar, and then on Saturdays, Johnny is going to do a little solo show for you from his nest, and we call it the Sparrow's Nest.
Is it the Sparrow's Nest?
It used to be this room, but I didn't like that. I renamed
The
it.
setup's pretty good. I need you to do a little tweaking at the house.
Yeah, we're going to tweak it a little bit to make it more viewer friendly.
Yeah.
But what Johnny's going to do on Saturday mornings is talk about the previous two rounds, get into some Saturday matchups for you with his picks for the matchups, and maybe a little preview of the Sunday round coming up the next day for it, and give you kind of the inside the ropes view of what's going on, and a little dirt and some inside information that he's got on Saturday mornings. That probably won't be a live show because I'll probably have to mix that and then post it ASAP, but it'll be Saturday morning at some time. Look for that, before. I mean, we'll have to publish it before it starts because you got to make picks.
Yep. Yeah.
On the matchup. So
and you got to clean. I don't think those Tia Carrera old school posters in that little.
Tia Carrera. Oh, come on! You're old enough to have Heather Thomas videos. Come on.
I'm not that old.
I had Heather Thomas posters hanging up on my wall.
You
remember who she was?
She's white.
From the Fall Guy.
She's white.
A blonde from the Fall Guy.
I'm out.
I'm old. Oh yeah, you don't like blondes.
Sounds like a break time.
I'll take all your blondes. Yeah, I tell you what, before we get into Jordan Spieth, Sam Burns, and Matthew Fitzpatrick, let's take a quick break. We are From the Rough on FanStream Sports. We'll be back after this.
FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports.
Jeeves Law Group. I've known Scott Jeeves for quite some time, and he's just like us, a huge college football fan. He loves his Gators. In fact, he sponsors our Gator Report every Thursday at 11 o'clock with Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. But he's not just another PI attorney. He is a ferocious advocate for his clients. Scott Jeeves is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator practicing in Tampa Bay for over 30 years. He is an AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer and certified circuit court mediator. Folks, these designations are not just given out. They're given only to the best trial attorneys. But more than anything, Scott takes these cases personally. I've heard it from his clients. He's a fighter you want on your side. Insurance companies hate it when they see you're represented by Jeeves. He's just different. 727-894-2929 or go to JeevesLawGroup.com. That's JEEVES lawgroup.com and tell them JP sent you.
Now is the time to make sure your home insurance is in order. In the last year, many of us have made improvements to our homes. So call the folks at Italiano and discuss these upgrades to make sure you have enough coverage. According to a recent report, almost 64% of homeowners don't have enough insurance on their home, which is their most valuable asset. Also, a great time to make sure you have flood insurance. Even if your mortgage company does not require flood insurance, your home could still be at flood risk. Another big item as we enter hurricane season is making sure your pool enclosure is added to your policy and there will be no issue at claim time. That happens a lot. So call your friendly agent at Italiano Insurance to review your policies today. 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com.
Hey, folks, it's still engagement season, and where better to get that special ring than the Gold and Diamond Source? The Gold and Diamond Source has the largest selection of engagement rings in the country, a literal jewelry supercenter with 30 times the inventory of any normal jeweler. You don't have to wait to spend any extra time waiting for them to bring something in. They have everything right there in-house, so why go anywhere else? And you can get up to 15% off this January if you buy something with the birthstone, which is garnet. Garnet and gold, Florida State, get something for your favorite Seminole. And let's not forget the Emily collection from Emily Johnson Weintraub. Very affordable, real gold and diamond jewelry, always stylish and unique. Emily has created this fashion-forward gold, diamond, and gemstone jewelry line ideal for everyday wear. Each piece is designed to enhance your look by featuring eye-catching, modern geometrical shapes. Really unique stuff. Got to check it out. And, of course, Julie and Steve Weintraub, great benefactors here in the local community. So let's keep it local. And you can get 0% financing for up to 5 years. Get a big ring for a little price. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Attention, if you are home shopping or looking for a refinance, and even if you already have the approval letter, you must call my man Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Scott has a brand new program available in the greater Tampa Bay area called the Community Advantage Loan Program. Get this, no money down, no mortgage insurance, no points, no origination fee, purchase or refinance, and loan amounts up to $647,000. Now, there are some application requirements. It must be a single-family home, 1 unit, primary residence, and have a minimum 640 credit score. The program only applies to certain neighborhoods, so you have to call to find out if you qualify. So call Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Now, even if you don't qualify for that program, Scott will shop your loan around, get you the best rates, and won't charge you the huge upfront fees. And if you've had issues with your bank calling you back, Scott will return calls immediately or at least the same day. 813-294-7595 or email him, scott@amstampa.com. Scott Fitzgerald, MLS 386722, American Mortgage Services, 1000 North Ashley Drive, Suite 1020, Tampa, Florida.
The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship returns this March 16th to the 19th with 4 days of golf action plus a host of fun activities that make it Tampa Bay's hottest spring sports ticket. Sam Burns, who won in a thrilling playoff last year, is looking to make it 3 wins in a row on the Copperhead course at Innisbrook Resort. He will be challenged by a top field that includes Jordan Spieth, returning for the first time in 5 years. The 2015 Valspar champ counts 13 PGA Tour victories, including 3 majors in his career. It will be a great field and great fun. Tickets are on sale now at ValsparChampionship.com for all tournament days, both grounds tickets and premium ticket options. You don't want to miss the 2023 Valspar Championship.
JP here for Italiano Insurance. If you've started a side hustle during COVID and the business has grown, well, you need business insurance, because if you get sued, you could lose all your personal wealth if you're not properly protected. That's right. Your home, your savings, everything could go. So get protected now. Call the great agents at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799, and a real human will answer the phone and get you protected. If you haven't shopped your business insurance in a while, you could be overpaying by thousands. One customer had their golf buddy handling his business insurance, then called Italiano to shop it around, and they saved him $26,000 a year. Yeah. So call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Italiano Insurance, protecting all the pieces of your life for over 60 years.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast here on FanStream Sports. We just told everybody, we'll remind everybody again about the FanScreen Sports app. Go over to the iOS, the Apple Store, I guess is what it's called, and Google Play Store. Go ahead and download it now and get it ready, because we will be all of our shows.
And coming soon, our RHS TV, right, on Fobu, anywhere you do your streaming.
What's Fobu?
Did I say it wrong?
Fubo. Well, yeah, you just download the Red House, the RHS TV app. It doesn't matter what streaming platform you're on.
Those will be our live shows,
anywhere.
right? We'll have our live shows, audio and video there, correct?
Yep, we'll have videos over there. And of course, the FanStream Sports YouTube channel. Go subscribe to that and click that little bell. You get all the alerts when we've got something pop up live or when a new video gets posted. Ding, ding. One of our many daily blitzes for your favorite college team, your favorite pro football team, some NBA teams, and coming soon probably some NHL teams. For all of those for you, as well as lots of stuff, lots of content. Some of our little shorts we do over there on our YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody checking that out and subscribing. If you'd like to see some content that you're not seeing, let us know. Leave us a message over on the YouTube channel. Just comment. We'll see it. Or hit us up on Twitter. I am at IndyCarTim. He is at J Gerber PGA Pro. The show is at From the Rough PGA. We'd love to interact with you anywhere and everywhere that we can. So, Johnny, we talked a little bit about Justin Thomas here for the 2023 Valspar Championship. I wanted to get into some Jordan Spieth a little bit. He has not been here in the Tampa area since 2018 was his last visit. Now, is this a course? We all know kind of his game, but is this a course that's going to cater to him maybe crawling out of this little ditch that he's been in?
That's a great question, and I don't really know the answer to that question. We'll find out starting tomorrow on how he drives a golf ball. I mean, he's been driving it so poorly, working on a few things, but never count out Jordan Spieth, right? His short game is always going to be fantastic. And obviously from outside of, his 4 feet and in is his little bugaboo, right? But anything outside there, probably the best putter in the world. But it'll hard to tell, man, because like I said, you're looking at last week, this week, and next week are the 3 most polar opposite places that you're going to play. And, his remedy of going to a place that he feels comfortable with and he's won there, that's going to help him. But, he like I said, you just can't go in this place hitting it sideways or not feeling good about your game because it's going to expose you. And they're not setting it up for a Byron Nelson to shoot 24, 25 under par. Like I said, whether being all equal is 10, 12 under par is going to win this golf tournament. If it gets a little bit windy out there, you might see 8 or 9. It's really going to surprise me unless they just have the green soft, which from what I hear, making my calls or not, they want to play it firm, high rough, fast, and they want to set them work. They want this place to play difficult. So, hey man, all for them.
And, I thought this was kind of a peculiar addition to his schedule because, of course, he's going to play the 2 Texas events coming up, being from Texas. Now, everything I'm hearing says and this is true of Justin Thomas, too. I'm seeing they're probably both going to skip the WGC.
No, they're playing next week.
Well, Thomas is skipping the WGC match play. Thomas isn't playing.
You sure?
That's what's on the card that I saw, that he wasn't going to play in it. And I've seen talk that Spieth might too. So I don't know. To me, that's weird, but you haven't heard any of that though, have you? Apparently?
They're gonna. I know Jordan's gonna skip Valero,
right?
Because he just had a stretch run here. I didn't hear anything about JT skipping next week the match play.
Okay,
but that wouldn't surprise me if he did. I mean, just take 2 weeks off before the Masters,
right.
Which is fine. He's had this stretch of golf playing last week, this week, and playing the API. But that makes sense. He might take those 2 weeks off and get ready for the Masters. It would surprise me if Jordan takes next week off. It might be smart for him to take next week off, but just being down in Austin,
sure.
Knowing that golf course as well as he knows it, he's not a great match play player.
Mm-hmm.
And it surprised me a little bit that he's not. How good of his short game is. You can never really count him out of a hole. But he's obviously that was his home course in college, going to University of Texas and down there in Austin. And it would surprise me. It would surprise me if he skips next week, but you're probably right about JT.
Next guy I wanted to get into, and there's finally reports at 16-1, Matthew Fitzpatrick finally reports that he's getting healthy for the first time in a while. Is his neck, whatever that neck injury was, apparently isn't as nagging as it was at one point. He first talked about it at Pebble Beach. He talked about his neck being messed up. And of course, he's gone now to miss 3 of 5 cuts after that. But from things I've seen about his game and this course, the Copperhead, like he usually plays pretty well here, though, right? Like this is kind of a course tailored for his game a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you look at a guy like that. I mean, him being healthy with his neck, it's hard to jump out of bed. It's a long way to jump out of that bed when you're 5'4". Sometimes when you land wrong, it might just jab your neck. Sometimes it's just
see that's short.
That he's not big.
Wow,
he's not tall. He's not a big guy. But that being said, all joking aside, listen, man, injuries happen.
Yeah.
It's a sport just like everything else. Injuries happen, man, and it is a good golf course for him. I mean, it's a good golf course for anybody if you're driving the golf ball well and you're playing well, right? And it's the polar opposite if you're not. I mean, you're gonna be hitting all these damn live oak tree roots and high rough and shit like that, trying to hit in some of these greens. It's all surrounded by water. So it's all going to be predicated on ball striking. And, he hasn't played well, and he says he's healthy now, but I don't like this. I don't like him going in here just kind of wondering about his game, Matthew Fitzpatrick, right? I mean, it's like I said, it's just not the place that you want to go and have a get right, trying to get right. It's just not. It just really isn't. Now, maybe next week in the match play is, because you can make a couple shitty holes and be out of a couple holes and still win the match, right? So it gives you a little bit of a leeway. And so maybe he's getting this in prep health-wise to play a little bit to get ready for next week, right? I mean, maybe that's something that he's looking forward to. And you never know with these guys' schedule, man. They have, they set their schedule up, first off, is for the golf courses that they like, and they play well. But a little bit different now is because of the elevated field events.
Right.
They're kind of obligated to play a little bit, whether they like the golf course or not. This isn't one of them. And, these guys are kind of a little bit fickle when it comes to some things like that.
They're kind of weird, aren't they?
Golfers are weird.
Golfers are weird, man.
And cocktails are good.
Cocktails are good. Sometimes when you score, you score.
And golfers are weird. They just
golfers are a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie.
They're so obviously as a ex-tournament player, PGA of America member, played a lot of high competition. It's all about routine, man. We don't like to get out of our shit. We don't like to get out. We like to eat the same stuff. We like to wake up at the same time. We like our practice schedules. It's all routine. And then when you get out of the routine, it kind of messes you up a little bit. When it comes to, I want to go back a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you really noticed. I mean, it's really been we haven't done well on our gaming picks, but have you really noticed, this 8 weeks on the PGA Tour, 6, 7 of these weeks, we've had delays, rain delays or new starts. Or
messes with these guys' games.
Boy, is it, man. It is very difficult. And that's not why we haven't had such a great year so far on the gambling side, man, but this is a real thing. This is something that really messes these guys up, and getting out of the routine and going back at 6 a.m. in the morning, trying to finish your third round, not know if you're going to make the cut. And if you do, restart and repairing, it just really messes up some routine. And some of these guys who are, mentally are so good that are used to this stuff, they kind of, they do a lot better, or and it helps and it hurts, right?
Yeah.
If you're kind of on a shitty run, it's cool to have that break. But if you're also on that hot run, you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You don't want to have that stop. And we've seen this more this year than any time I can remember on the PGA Tour, the start of the year. How many times it's, obviously out in LA and the California swing, we had that with Pebble and Riv and all those things. And now we get it back in Florida, that it just doesn't seem like it's a traditional 72-hole event where these guys are just getting the routine.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to think about when it comes to that. And that's why a lot of times that we don't have our matchups on Saturday is just because there's a delay and then there's a restart. And I got to really go back and say, hey man, who got done, right? Who got done? Who didn't have to come to the restart? So there's a lot to it when it comes to that.
And for those of you that listen to our picks, or to Johnny's picks, don't ever listen to my picks, that listen to Johnny's picks. He's not just some dude going on a podcast or on the Golf Channel telling you who to pick. Johnny makes the bets that he picks. So if there's not matchups for you on Saturday, there's a good reason. It's because he's not comfortable making any bets with them. So anytime you hear Johnny making his picks, like he will here in a little bit for the Valspar, they're bets that Johnny's making. It's his money. He's playing with his money. So, not again, some of these guys go out there and give you picks and matchups and whatever. Yeah, this guy's probably playing good. He's probably not betting on those.
No.
So
no, there's no problem. Listen, and we're transparent, right? I mean, we're not having a great year compared to the last 2 years, and we're in the hole a little bit. We're transparent. We're out there. We're saying what we are. But listen, you can't, a good dog don't stay down long. It just doesn't. And we're on this precipice. Last week was a little bit rough. We talked about this on the Monday show that, the devil was chasing a little bit. But we're not quitting. This is our system. And this is why we tell everyone, it's more apparent this year than the last couple of years, is if you follow the system. You have to follow the system every single week, and just don't have a couple weeks and we don't do really well. And you just, I get all these emails and, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, trust me, I do.
Yep.
And that's why you have to follow the system. I don't give a shit if it's $1 or $5 or $20. Follow the system, follow the plays. You will be profitable at the end of the year.
Some other guys I wanted to get into a little bit. Tommy Fleetwood. He's, I don't know what to say about Tommy Fleetwood's game, except, yeah, he's out there playing golf all right. But the disappointing finishes just keep coming and coming for him. Final round 76 on Sunday from the first page of the leaderboard early in the tournament. So, again, kind of a deja vu of 2022 for him, I think, because he experienced something similar at the Players to finish tied for 16th the following week at Valspar last year in his first tournament there. I don't know what to think. I like Tommy Fleetwood a lot. Love the hair. I just don't know what to think about his golf game.
Yeah, I mean, how many times? I mean, what has he won? Right? How many times?
Nothing. Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's an accomplished player, right? He's the top 20, 30 players in the world in terms of the rankings. But when have you went into a final round of a big tournament and said, damn, Tommy Fleetwood's really going to make this happen?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't really get you that way.
Because he's never done it before. So,
and he's had some success in Europe. I think, he won the BMW Masters and some big tournaments over there. Obviously he's a world-class player, right? So we're comparing him to not the general public, but I mean, how many times have you just seen that guy in the final round shoot 64 and dominate? You just haven't.
No.
And that's a little bit that scares me. I just don't think that he has. I think he has it, right? He's not doing it by choice, but Ryder Cup he does well. He's not dominant. He's not that figure that's fantastic. He's a solid player, but I just don't think he's that big dog that's going to be or ever be the potential to be a top 10 player in the world.
And again, I don't even know. I don't have him in any of my picks because I just don't know what to think about him from week to week. Another guy that I'm almost equally confused about, although he's, I think, playing better than Tommy is right now, and that's Denny McCarthy. And a win's got to be coming soon, right, for him? Like, he's on the precipice of a win, I think.
Nah, I mean, this guy is awesome, man. And this could be the week that he really does it. It's not a over long golf course, but we've talked about this the last year. This guy's the best putter on the PGA Tour. This guy can make a putt on carpet. Like, I'm just telling you, this guy, and the tour guys will tell you this. He is the best putter on the PGA Tour. And when you have that in your arsenal, you always going to have a chance in a golf tournament. He just has to, first off, if he wins once, he doesn't have the length to kind of dominate like these other guys, right? So he's not short by any means, but he doesn't have the length to dominate to be the number one player in the world. But he does have the short game and the chipping and putting, and especially the putting, to win one or two times a year.
Right.
And this could be a golf course that's perfect for him when it comes to that. He's good on this Bermuda, this old school Bermuda, and all he's got to do is kind of keep it in front of him, which he does. And he's going to have a chance. He's on our card this week.
He's got a pair of top 15 finishes in the last two designated events, sandwiched a missed cut at the Honda in between those things. And from everything I've heard at the Honda, he wasn't feeling well. He was feeling really, really bad. So, of course, not his greatest golf there, but
South Beach flu. That's a real thing. That is real.
Thank God I don't go to South Beach anymore.
South Beach flu.
So he gained more than 4 strokes off the tee at TPC Sawgrass. It's the third best mark of his career. McCarthy. So, yeah, I think he's right on the precipice of a win. And I don't know about this week, but I can certainly see him winning this year for sure.
Well, watch him next week at the match play. And here's why, just because how good of a putter he is, right? The only rub he's going to have is like I said, I don't want to get too far into it, is because Austin Country Club is very quirky.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime you have a guy that putts that well in a match play scenario, he's always going to be a threat. Always.
Yeah, well, I'll be watching him for sure because he's another one of those dudes that I like that I can't wait for him to have a breakout win here for sure. And I'd like it to be at a notable tournament too. That would be great. Just to get all that out of the way. Johnny, let's get into our picks and predictions, our betting picks for the Valspar Championship as we get a little production music. I'll give my picks first, as I often do. Again, my picks are for entertainment purposes only. Please, no wagering. Even though apparently I wagered on my own picks for the first time ever today.
Please no wagering on.
No wagering on my picks. I always pick a top 10, a top 20, and a winner. And usually when Johnny and I have a crossover, it doesn't end well for either one of us. This week might be that exception.
Yep.
And we'll get into that. So my winner this week, Johnny, I know he went 70 and 78 to miss the cut at the Players, his second missed cut in his last 3 tournaments. Really like Keegan Bradley here at 25-1.
Love him.
When he does find the weekend, though, he's got a really good knack for contending. Top 10 finish at the Arnold Palmer, runner-up at Torrey Pines, second to Sam Burns here in 2021. He just has a comfort level around the Copperhead course, I think, and I think he could get back on track here real quickly. So he's my pick at 25-1 to win. My number top 10 pick, my second pick here at 80-1. That's to win. If you want to pick him to win, 80-1, man.
Where'd you get that? Where'd you
I think that's from Caesars.
Who's 80-1?
Garrett Kigo.
You got him in the top 10.
No, I know. That's what I just said. I have him as a top 10. If you want to bet him to win, he's 80-1.
Yeah.
I have him in top 10 at plus 900, which I still kind of like that because he's one of these guys that I've tried to pay attention to here recently because I really like him, and he's playing some pretty good golf right now. He's made 5 of 7 cuts to begin the year, had a top 20 at Pebble Beach and PGA West, and he ranks 10th in strokes gained tee to green and greens in regulation. He leads this field in par 5 scoring. So he, I just think he's going to be due here, and especially for a top 10. I mean, to me, that's almost a no-brainer.
He fits in that Johnny Vegas category. There's too many women in Tampa for him.
For Garrick?
Yeah, he's a good-looking South African big dude.
Yep.
Kind
of goofy looking though.
Tampa women, be nice to him, please. Or let me go backwards. Don't be nice to him. Tell him to go home.
Yeah.
So Tim can finally have something as a winner on his board.
I'm a top 10 for sure. I would love that.
And I got him on the board too. So help me out a little bit.
Help us out. Help us both out here. And then my top 20 at plus 350, my boy Kramer Hickok. I don't know that I've ever had him on my card before. But after missing 8 straight cuts, he's now made 3 in a row. 2 of those came at designated events.
You're Nostradamus, Kramer Hickok, huh?
Yeah. He's relied a lot on tee to green presence. And, he's been here before. He led the field in strokes gained putting in last year's tournament here. He's in the top 10 in good drives gained and greens in regulation since the year started in 2023. I like him at this course. Again, top 20 to me, that's almost a no-brainer at plus 350.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, Johnny's Picks brought to you by Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. Go over there now to golfcentralmag.com and check out the March issue to be coming soon. You might see a little bit of fan stream sports mixed in there in that magazine. So
that's correct.
Looking forward to that. We appreciate those boys over there and girls at Golf Central Magazine. Johnny, who's on your card this week?
So we're going to listen, not going to be redundant. I'm not saying we're getting on back on track this week, but we're getting on back on track this week. Just saying. So
about time.
Feel good about these picks. Like I said, Devil was chasing us a little bit. If you watched the show on Monday, a little bit of bad luck. But listen, no one likes a quitter. And that's certainly what we don't do. We do not quit. So we are going back on our card, feeling confident with our number 1 pick this week, Adam Hadwin at 22-1. Past champion of the event at Valspar, loves the golf course. His caddy, Joey Cruz, is a member at Innisbrook, plays there a lot, lives in Tampa. Great insight. That's one of the reasons why Adam Hadwin won there a few years ago. And I really think the form he's coming into this year, going into that event, I think he's going to have some success. 22-1, good guy on the PGA Tour. So let's pull for him at 22-1. Second pick this week, friend of the show, Dallas resident, practices at the Highlands Performance Golf Center, Davis Riley, 30-1.
Your boy.
My boy, my guy. Great dude. Saw him last week at Highlands practicing. Really good form. I like the way he played the majority of the time last week at TPC. 30-1. He kind of struggled a little bit in the last couple rounds, just like everybody else did. But I really like Davis Riley, this type of golf course. Ball striker extraordinaire. Davis Riley, 30-1. Look for him to grab that snake trophy.
Yep.
If I won that tournament, I don't even know if I could hold that trophy.
Biggin.
Well, I just don't like snakes. I can't even watch them on TV.
No, I hate snakes.
So going to next, who makes a lot of snakes? Denny McCarthy, 33-1.
Did you ever see snakes on a plane?
33-1.
Can't watch
Denny McCarthy
Can't do it.
makes a lot of snakes. Makes a lot of long putts. If people know anything about golf, you make a long putt, that's called a snake. 33-1. Denny McCarthy. I really do. Like Tim said, he's due to win, man. He's one of those guys on the PGA Tour. He's due to win. This could have that opportunity for him to win. I don't think he's in the field next week.
I haven't seen.
He may get in the field if he has some of these other people that you said that might withdraw, like JT. So I have to look at that and getting ready for next week. I'm so focused on this week to get everybody some winners. Haven't got that far along. So ham sandwich pick, Flash, Will Gordon, 80-1. This guy is an up-and-coming star on the PGA Tour. He's a rookie. Played at the University of Vanderbilt, was the best player in college the last few years.
SEC.
Great form coming into this thing. This golf course sets up great for him. It's not the biggest field. So you're looking at some guys that are kind of up-and-coming that might shine. Flash Gordon is one of these guys, and I'm looking forward to him with great value at 80-1. I was going to take him in the top 10 or top 20 to have a guaranteed cash in, but I think this is the opportunity for his form. I've been looking at his stats tee to green are fantastic, and that's going to be a key this week at Copperhead. So look for him, Will Gordon, to at 81 have that ham sandwich just jump in there for us. 2 top 10 picks this week, as always. Justin Rose plus 275. I like his form going in. Great ball striker. I don't think has a chance to win, but look for him to finish in that top 10. I think he's kind of getting geared up a little bit for next week. So I like him in top 10. Wyndham Clark plus 375, finishing that top 10 spot. I almost put him in the winner spot, but I liked him in the ham sandwich, but his odds weren't good enough. He was only like 35-1, and I thought there was more value to drop him down a little bit to that top 10. And when people talk about this, why would you not put him in that winner circle? When we start handicapping it, there's value. We think about the value of what we're going to win in terms of this stuff, right? It's just not, hey, pick him. And that's why we talk about a little bit different in the matchups that not always work. We might like a guy, but the odds might be too high and vice versa. So I like him in the top 10 spot at plus 375. 2 top 20 picks this week. Joel Damon at plus 320. This guy doesn't really miss a lot of greens, doesn't miss a lot of shots. He's going to be steady, consistent, and especially if that winning score is going to be around 10 under. The guy has, like I said, he's going to shoot 300, 400, 500 around the day, 2 under at worst. He's in pretty good form. He likes his golf course. So look at him at 320. And we're going to follow Tim a little bit, but only drop him down to the top 20. Garrick Higo at plus 375. I just think there's some outstanding reasons why he can't win the golf tournament facing the top 10. I mean, that's that. Can I say this on the air? The Penthouse Club?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're going to do a show here pretty soon.
I've never been there, the Penthouse Club in Tampa, but I'm pretty sure that Garrick Higo will be there this week, and it might just deter him from winning the golf tournament. I hope he isn't, Garrick. Please stay out of the Penthouse Club. Please stay out of the Penthouse Club, because I've never been there. I just heard about it. So that's the only reason I dropped him down to the top 10. Too many temptations for a 24-year-old multimillionaire South African 6'2" dude in Tampa.
I thought you were talking about yourself till you said South African.
I did. I can speak. Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
I can speak it.
Well, we know you can do a lot of things.
I know. There it is. So that's how we got this week, guys. Listen, we are getting back on track. Don't give up on us. I know, sometimes it's a little, we're in the hole a little bit, but it's only one good week. And once we start building, we're going to rock and roll.
Yep. And Johnny always rock and rolls with his picks. Like you said, the devil's chasing him just a little bit.
A little bit.
We didn't have time to get into what I wanted to talk about with the USGA and RNA proposing limiting the distance golf balls can travel.
Yeah,
so,
next week. Next week.
Well, we'll get into that on Monday. We'll have some more time for it because we got long-winded about the Valspar, and that's okay.
That's good.
That's why we split this up into 2 shows. We literally have an hour's worth of stuff for each tournament to talk about, and it's just easier to split it up like this for you guys. So we are from the rough here on Fanstream Sports. We will be back on Monday to recap the Valspar and bring you some fun PGA news. Literally anything but live golf news. We're probably not going to talk too much about that.
Nope.
Making it to Johnny's list. I think live golf in general is on Johnny's list. So,
yep.
We'll be back Monday to do it again, boys and girls. Until then, you guys keep hitting them straight. Today's episode is brought to you by the Highlands Performance Golf Center, North Dallas's premier golf practice facility with over 65 grass tees, 2 practice putting surfaces, a short game area, and an 18-hole mini golf course. With covered and heated tees, it's the best place to practice your game year-round. The Highlands Performance Golf Center is located in Carrollton on Trinity Mills, in between Marsh and Midway. Give them a call at 972-733-4111 or check them out on the web at highlandspgc.com.